I would not do business with my own grandmother if the service sucks. I'm just going to tell you right now. If her product is not on point, if her service is not all the way there, I'm cool. I would rather do business with somebody who is actually doing good business. Now, I am really sick and tired of this idea that just because you are black, you must therefore support black businesses. That is shaming. That is guilt tripping. That is damn near extortion in some cases, right? You are being pushed into this idea of support your own, support. Wait, first and foremost, how do you know I'm your own? Just because I look like you, how do you know anything else about me? You are literally doing the opposite of what MLK was trying to push damn near 80 years ago. Content of character, not color of skin. Instead, they use the color of your skin in order to manipulate you into doing business with these folks. And I say, I don't give a damn who you are, what you look like. I don't care if you're my kinfolk or skin folk. If your business is not on point, if you do not have superior services, superior product, the food is not hitting, the service is not servicing. You understand me? The product ain't working, or it's not working in the way that I needed to work. I'm going to get the superior product. That's just what it is, at the best price point that I can. If you're my family, maybe I'll give you a little money just because, right? Maybe I'll give you some insight or whatever it is. I won't even buy your product. Here's a donation. You understand me? Because I'm not about to be manipulated into getting something that I don't even want in the first place. I'm not going to buy one of your cheap ass t-shirts. You're not willing to get high quality. So now I got to purchase something that I didn't even want in the first place. Now I got to give it away to Goodwill. What sense does that make? But anyway, I'm so glad that this message is finally being echoed throughout the world, more specifically by those who are quote unquote seen as leaders within the quote unquote black community. You know, unfortunately, many of them are coming from the world of hip hop, etc. But every once in a while, you have a guy like this guy by the name of Wallow from $1 Million Worth of Game. It can be a dope podcast. Every now and then it has golden moments like where he is basically speaking to these young men and warning them of what's going to come with the life that they're living and the people they surround themselves with, etc. He speaks to the ghetto culture in a very real way. So shout out to Wallow, and let's hear his take on exactly what I've been basically getting on a rant about anyway.
Us. Oh, I'm black. No black people. Nobody gives a about that. Kill that shit.
He's on it already. Okay, Wallow. And we matching today, buddy. We're matching. We're on the same type of time in the day. Short sleeve black tea energy. Let's get it.
Either you got a good business or you don't. All that shit, nobody want to hear that shit.
Nope.
That's a hustle. Support me because I got a...
That's a hustle. That's a perfect word for it. It's a hustle. It's a grift. It's a scam. Man, we got to stick together, brother. See, the white man is trying to bring the black man's business down. If the black man doesn't support the black man, then nobody will. You know who will? People who like your product, people who love your service, they will do business with you. If you got the best, not just the best superior quality, etc., but you also have to have marketing, right? We're just supposed to do business because you look. Absolutely not. Some companies are out marketing you. They are out branding you. They are spending thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars investing into their marketing, into their messaging. So you better have the best product on the block to where everybody is talking about you.
Black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material your shit good? Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people. No, I support consistency, baby.
Oh, I support. Make sure to watch Wallow's interview with Shannon Sharp, Club Shay Shay Wallow. Make sure to check that interview out. It is nothing but pure gold. I got to say that. Again, on $1 Million Worth of Game, I think sometimes there's the entertainment value aspect, etc. With his own podcast. And there's great stuff that, you know, obviously comes from it. But his individual interview is on point. Mwah, chef's kiss. He even talks about how he got in the business of podcasting and realized like advertising and, you know, came to really understand how advertising works and started to communicate with the right people. They got picked up by Barstool, which is a quote unquote white owned, even a Jewish owned company. But guess what? He was willing to learn from the individuals who are running that business. And he has mastered the game of content in essence and how to really maximize on the profitability of it, the business side of it. So the brother's preaching, and you could tell when black folk are quiet, or you just getting a little bit of the churchisms. I know that's right. That's when you know the message is hitting. When folk are silent, That message is piercing through the heart.
Yeah. About what color you is. I'm gonna spend my money. That paper, I'm gonna spend them deals where the I want to spend it at. Whether it's Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, I'm gonna do what the I want to do while I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: I ain't gonna be finessed off some black shit. But one thing about it, 70% of you motherfuckers is not going to make it. Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary.
Oh yeah, that's right. He spent more of his life in the state penitentiary than he has out here. And he transformed his life. That's why when I speak of the ghetto culture, there's always a way out. Unfortunately, many choose their ego as opposed to choosing the way out, right? As opposed to changing their lives for the better. They care more about servicing that identity than they care about changing their lives for the good. So I think his last time in prison, he did maybe 20 years or something like that. As a teenager, he was in and out of prison, in and out of juvie system, penitentiaries, etc. So yeah, if you're going to hear a message, it's going to be coming from a dude like this. And he is catering his message. Like, he does speak quote unquote the same. There's a little bit of a code switch, I think, because of the audience that he's speaking to. A whole lot of cussing or whatever it is, but the message is still clear as day.
I make millions and I make millionaires, baby. You understand me? I come from the ghetto. Us. Oh, I'm black. Oh, black people. Nobody gives a f about that. Kill that shit. Either you got a good business or you don't.
And that's the message that folks need to hear. Sometimes people think I might be a little harsh with it. And we had grandmothers, grandfathers, fathers, mothers who used to tell us things straight and to the point. They weren't trying to be our friends. They weren't trying to be our damn enablers in that moment. They wanted what was best for us. They wanted us to not have to go through maybe what they went through. They took themselves through. And so instead of babying us, instead of coddling us, they would actually correct us and they would discipline us in the way in which we move through life. And unfortunately, we find ourselves in a day and age where a lot of young boys, a lot of young men, they can't take authority. A lot of them are now being raised in single mother households, etc. And I'm not saying mothers are not doing their best, but when you don't have a father figure, at the very least, let alone your own father in the household, who is able to discipline and correct, not from a state of just emotionality, right? Or anger or fear, whatever it is, but instead adjusting your behaviors in order for you to have a better outcome. When you don't have that, they have the inability to listen to any damn body. They have pride. You can't tell them anything. And the young women, the young girls, you can't tell them anything. They're out for the streets. They're going to run around with all the wrong people, get themselves now pregnant or, in dire situations and circumstances, attaching themselves to very toxic individuals, all because there wasn't a voice like this to speak directly to it. So for businessmen and women, etc., look, you're not about to get me through manipulation or coercion. When it's all said and done, after all the BLM noise is quieted down, after the Al Sharptons of the world are no longer relevant, people are only going to do business with you off the basis of whether or not they like what you do. That's why as many people hate on Amazon. Oh, they're corrupt, they're evil. Y'all still buy Amazon. Oh, we can't stand Walmart. Walmart racist. They took away DI. You still shop at Walmart. Why? Because they get you what you need. They always have what you need. Well, most of the time they have exactly what you need. And they have the best prices that you want to buy at. You know what to expect. Like he was saying, consistency. So you can't be mad at that. If you're going to hold a standard, then you got to hold the highest standard. And if people don't do business with you, that's on you. Sometimes I have content that hits and I have content that doesn't hit. That's on me. Oh, the algorithm isn't working in my favor. The algorithm. Man, if you don't stop being a damn whiny little biatch, it is your responsibility, my responsibility to take care of my business. Nobody else's. I got to figure the game that I'm playing out. I got to figure the system out. I got to figure out how to get in front of people and to give them a message that's actually valuable, that people actually give a damn about. I had to even realize, man, you think you know what people really want to hear in essence. I'm never going to filter my message, but it's like you think you know the subject that matter, etc., but you really don't. You really don't. Listen to the people. Listen to what it is that people resonate with, gravitate towards, etc. And if that's something that you're passionate enough about, then go ahead and do that, right? You want to make a meal that nobody wants to buy. You want to make a meal that nobody wants to eat. Create a meal that is going to have a market, an audience for it, and deliver it in the best way possible. That's why as a barber, you might want to do 1,000 different cuts, and you can do those cuts, But there's people going to come in for, man, I need a taper fade. Man, I need a, give me a high, low fade. It changes. Man, I want the sponge down. Man, I want the braids. It was everybody had cornrows at one point. Not everybody wants cornrows right now. So you might have said, oh man, I want to do all cornrows, and you can niche down in that market, but just know that that's what your business is going to be. You can't blame anybody. Oh, y'all should want cornrows. You can't force somebody into your own specialty. Go find your audience then and serve them the very best and be at the absolute best at what you do. Really that simple. Like it's that easy, or it's that simple, I guess, because it's not complex, but it's not always easy. Because are you willing to let go of your pride? You think you know every damn thing. No, you don't. You think, oh, my business needs to fly because it's me. No, it doesn't. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes me anything. But you owe you the chance to at least succeed. And how do you do that? By doing exactly what that brother said right there. Show up, be consistent, have the best service or product that you can have. You don't need to compete with Amazon. You don't need to compete with anybody else if you're doing the best of what you're doing. I don't compete with any content creator. Shout out to guys like Anton, etc., that people might want to compare me to. I don't compete with any of them. I got none but love for them. There's more than enough space for all of us. I just show up in the best way that I can. And that's the best that I can do. And that's exactly what I'm going to do every single time. So, all this mumbo jumbo about support black business, etc. I don't give a damn what you look like. I'm going to support you if I believe in what you're doing because it serves me. It's always a self agenda to it. If you're my family member, whatever, I might support you. If you're somebody I love and care about, I might give you a little something. I believe in your message, your mission. But it's like when people are donating money to me personally, etc. I appreciate it. I'm so thankful. But there's a trade of value that took place. There's something that resonated with them to the point where they say, man, I want to give to that. I want to invest into that because that right there is giving me something. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 365, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up. You know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises. You get to praising.